On a stormy night, Adam and Jennie, a young couple on a road trip, find themselves lost deep in a dense forest. Thunder rumbles overhead as rain lashes against their car. With no phone signal and the storm worsening, they notice a dim light flickering through the trees, an old colonial-style British mansion, isolated and shrouded in mist. Desperate for shelter, they make their way to the house and ring the doorbell. A tall, pale man opens the door, Mr. Caldwell. He appears kind and welcoming, though something about his old-fashioned clothes and formal British manner feels out of place. He speaks in a calm, courteous voice and offers them warm towels and tea. He insists they stay the night and wait for the storm to pass. The couple, cold and drenched, reluctantly agrees. Inside, the house feels like it's frozen in time. Candles flicker in antique holders. Portraits with faded eyes seem to watch from the walls, and grandfather clocks tick loudly in every room. The power is out, yet somehow, the kitchen smells of freshly cooked meat, a roast dinner already waiting on the table. The furniture is all antique, and the entire mansion feels like a museum of the early 1900s. At first, it seems like a strange but harmless refuge. As the night unfolds, the horror begins to seep in. Jennie hears strange whispers outside their guest room, voices speaking in broken English, whispering names she doesn't recognize. She peers down the dark hallway and catches a glimpse of a shadow slipping around the corner. Meanwhile, Adam explores the study and finds a black and white photograph framed on the desk. It shows Mr. Caldwell standing in front of the same mansion, the date written on the bottom corner, 1912. Scribbled in fading ink are the words, "The last owner before the massacre." Things get darker from there. The mirrors in the hallway don't reflect Adam and Jennie. Instead, they show blurry figures dressed in vintage clothing, staring blankly at them. Doors creak open on their own, and Jennie begins hearing someone calling out the name Mira from behind the walls. The sound leads them to a locked door in the basement, sealed with rusted chains and marked with symbols drawn in ash. Behind the door, they hear a woman crying softly and whispering warnings in a language they don't understand. Then comes the twist. While rummaging through an upstairs bedroom, Jennie opens an old trunk filled with letters and pages from a journal. The diary belonged to a woman named Mira, a guest at the mansion in 1912. The final entry tells of a betrayal during a secret treasure deal gone wrong. Mr. Caldwell had invited guests under false pretenses, only to be betrayed by them and murdered along with his servants. His soul, unable to find peace, remained in the house, cursed to relive the betrayal. Over time, he began luring travelers into the mansion, playing the role of the kind host, trapping them forever as new guests in his cursed home. As the clock strikes midnight, the house begins to change. Walls shift and stretch, doors vanish behind them. The furniture moves when they're not looking. Mr. Caldwell appears without sound, watching them from the dark corners of the room, his smile fading into a hollow stare. He speaks without words now, just a growing presence of dread. Adam and Jennie realize they are being pulled into the same fate as Mira and the others. In a last attempt to survive, they search the attic and find Mira's ritual diary, pages filled with protective symbols and banishment rites. They follow the steps in desperation as the house twists around them, the floorboards cracking like bones and cold wind howling from inside the walls. Mr. Caldwell begins to change, his skin cracking, revealing a decayed and hollow version of himself beneath the charm. He reaches for Jennie, but the ritual's final words echo through the house. A blinding light bursts from the center of the living room, and Mr. Caldwell vanishes into the shadows, screaming in silence. The mansion begins to collapse inward, fading into fog. Adam and Jennie run out just as the first rays of sunlight break through the trees. When they look back, the mansion is gone. Nothing but thick forest, wet leaves, and a trail of disturbed earth where it once stood. Breathless, shaken, and soaked in rainwater, they walk toward the main road where they finally find signal. In the daylight, the forest looks peaceful, as if nothing had ever happened. But as they leave, Jennie glances at her phone and freezes. A new photo has appeared in her gallery, a black and white image of them standing inside the mansion, with Mr. Caldwell smiling behind them. His hand rests on her shoulder, and beneath the photo, a timestamp, 1912.